You're seeing the first instance of what I've been warning you about. We're going to get embarrassed on a national stage. We left these people there. Okay, fine. It's Afghanistan. I'm not going to pretend like you care about it or I care about it. I don't want innocent people to suffer, but I get that. It's Afghanistan. But more importantly, what we left, we packed up our stuff and pulled out the U.S. military. We left them Javelin missiles. We left them drones, anti-mine vehicles. We left them helos. They're flying our Blackhawks, the Taliban, the people we've been, fighting against for the last 20 years. They're all carrying M4s, our M4s. They have our comms, secure comms now. They have NVGs now, courtesy of the good old US of A. How does that happen? How could a military possibly be so inept that they leave all billions and billions of dollars of equipment behind for the Taliban to use? How could that happen? You have generals worried about white rage instead of winning wars. This whole thing is not only amateurish and embarrassing, this whole thing is amateurish and embarrassing in front of the whole world. It's one thing if you walk outside and slip on the ice and fall on your rear end and you're by yourself. It's quite another if you're at a party with 500 people watching. We just embarrassed ourselves with the entire world watching. They think we're weak. They think we're amateurish. Our allies aren't quite sure if we're going to be there for them. And how could they be sure of that? We've got our allies in Afghanistan dropping like flies. This is a disaster. 1 year ago today. And remember, Joe Biden told you that wasn't going to happen. One of the many, many lies he told. And how naive was this? Remember, I knew for years that Afghanistan was going to fall like that the second we left, because if you talk to anyone who spent time in country, they told you the Afghan army, the Afghan police force, they're going to fall immediately, if not outright join the Taliban the second we leave. Joe Biden, though, he had no idea.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not.
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam, with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy. 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comparable.
One thing I want to bring up before we go to lighten the mood and get out of all this heavy stuff, I do want to bring this up. It is the 1 year anniversary of all this, right? What's a date today? August 15th. 1 year ago today. Okay, that's interesting. Just stay with me here. Because this part, you're not going to hear it or see it anywhere else, but it's 100% true. And it's the one people have ignored or chosen to forget. Why was that withdrawal done the way it was? Remember, we now know for a fact we left behind 800 American civilians. We left behind all of our equipment, totally functional, good equipment. If we just one night decided we were leaving and we packed up and jetted out of the country, even if you hate Joe Biden and the Democrats, and even if they screwed everything up and all that stuff's true, that doesn't make sense, does it? You would give your generals some time. Hey, could we pack up the javelins? But we just left. Why? What was the rush? That's the question you need to ask yourself. What was the rush? All that death, all that destruction, our 13 warriors who were killed in the wake of that, then the drone strike that killed 10 innocent Afghan civilians after that. Why? Why did that happen? What was the rush? It's August 15th. What's less than a month away? A day always remembered and always will be remembered in the American calendar. September 11th. Why did all that happen? It all happened because the Biden administration wanted a political football to spike. They could brag about being the ones who got us out of Afghanistan on the anniversary of September 11th. So they woke up one day, ignored all common sense and all advice, and they said, hey, pack it up and leave, be out tomorrow. That's why.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.